Alright, so I did a little solo wrenching last night, and let's see, what did I do? Well, I decided I needed to get the AC compressor loose and the alternator, because I was afraid I hoped the alternator would help me access some AC compressor bolts. I was finally able to get the alternator fished out of there, and I don't know why this thing's so filthy, but anyway, got the alternator out. It's right there on the floor. It had bolts coming into it, and one interesting thing it had was, see that? I don't know if you can see that stud. I'll try to get you in there. Right here, this stud, there's one matching it right next to it. Let's put it back in, but it has a hex on the end, and I had to take the outboard hex, and I don't know, 6mm, 7mm, and it actually backed out, so I was able to back it out of the head and then get the alternator fished out of the hole. I put the stud back in so I wouldn't lose it. Now I've run into something similar down on the AC compressor down there, so I'll take you down and show you what's going on there. So I don't know if there's any way I'm going to ever set up and get you a good vantage point. This is the bottom of the AC compressor. Here's one of the bolts that holds it in. Well, it comes out and hits the motor mount, so it won't come out. You can't, unless we jack the engine up and take this whole motor mount assembly out, but I need that to drop the subframe with the engine in it. So one of these studs on the AC compressor out here, I can slide the whole thing off. This one stud captures it because it runs into the motor mount. Well, this stud also has a hex out on the end, and everything I tried on it rounded it off. So, did a little experimenting before I brought you on camera, and I can slide it forward. I can get on there with, I tried last night with some of my worn out vice grips, but I can vice grip on there and it actually turned. So I'm hoping I can vice grip that thing out and then get this back it out and get this AC compressor out, and then I think all we have left is a couple fluid lines, and then we can set this thing down on something and hopefully raise the car off of it. I'll bring you back once this is out of the way. Okay, we got the AC compressor cut loose. That stud had an unfortunate day with the Sawzall, so it got cut off, but the compressor moved out. We'll deal with that. I'll get that stud out and put a bolt in it, put a stud in it, something on the flip side. For right now, got some cooler lines to go after. Got everything cut loose. Right down here is one of the trans cooler lines on the transmission. It's a 13mm, and I already broke it loose with a wrench. So that might be finger tight at this point. I'm sure something's going to puke somewhere. Okay, put that nut on. The other one appears to be way back in there. See it, but it's way back in there. So I'm gonna have to get an extension and a swivel, and then I'll break it loose, and then we'll go after some more lines. I'll bring you back once this one's out. Okay, got power steering fluid dripping behind you. You can probably hear. I did remember the brake booster, and that hose pulled right out of the brake booster. We're gonna go ahead and go after some of these bottom bolts here, so we're getting close. These in the I don't know, mount extra little sports from the subframe to the body. They're 15mm. We're going to buzz them out first. 2 in the back on each side. And there's 2 in the front, up here, I guess doing the radiator support. Go ahead, I'm assuming they're 15s, I'm going to buzz them out. They got a little dirt in them. They're kind of long too. Other one's way over here in front of you. Okay, near as I can tell, we got these 4 big old 21s holding us up there. We're gonna have to arrange something to hold this thing up. We'll work on that, and then we'll bring you back for the grand moment.